Well, I do apologise for everyone who was watching. When Jack Dodds tried to leave the stream, he ended up pretty much ending the whole broadcast. So I've just got to start it again. So I'm here. Here I am. I'm here talking. I'll quickly just talk to you about the Gillingham game. For me, I thought we were absolutely dreadful all game. Did not deserve to win. There's no way whatsoever this team can get promoted. In my opinion, people saying, "Oh well, you know, it's easy really to say this." Say it now, but say it after their equaliser. But I'm sorry that it's just. Jesus, man, I just genuinely don't know what to say anymore. To be honest, it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just sending the new stream in now to the lads so they can get on. But no, thanks everyone for watching so far. I'll add more people in a minute. It's just ridiculous so far, really. Sorry for anyone watching. When Jack Dodds tried to leave the live stream, he ended up ending the broadcast for everyone. So I've got Carl back in now. I've got Carl in. Carl, we came to you.
Yeah.
We came to you when the stream stopped. What were you saying?
Unexpectedly. Basically, the 88th minute when Gillingham was doing those short passes to the keeper, and the keeper messed up. O'Brien didn't have enough pace or passion to help close down the defender to steal that goal. It was a wide open goal. He could have killed the game 3-1 right there and then, but he didn't. He just literally just jogged and just didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And if I was Lee Johnson, I would have took O'Brien off, kept Wyke on, kept that pace.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely... I don't understand why Wyke was taken off. I really don't understand why. Because a few minutes later, we're putting balls into the box where it's like, well, there's no one there. Wyke's just gone off. Why are you doing that? And I just didn't understand that thought process of taking Wyke off and leaving O'Brien up there. Right, O'Brien, in my opinion, isn't a goal poacher. He's not a goal scorer. I don't think he's going to stand there and score us that many goals. He's all right at setting them up, but I don't know. Dan, the strikers. Well, I mean, what do you think? What do you think?
I agree. I wouldn't have taken Wyke off. No way. I think O'Brien. It wasn't his best game today, but he's been good the last few games, and he obviously had that chance, which I feel like he should have done better with. Just before they scored the equaliser, actually.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't see why you'd take Wyke off. I think the subs actually didn't really help in the long run. I think he moved Power into centre mid, didn't he? Which I didn't really understand. And he's been playing well at right back all game, or pretty solid. So I think actually that change of personnel in the just towards the end, I'm not sure how much that might have affected, but yeah, I thought they were weird subs. If I'm honest, I get subbing on a 9, good bit of fresh legs in the midfield, but I didn't really see why you had to move Power from where he was playing.
Yeah. Paul, the strikers.
Yeah,
Him being shuffled about.
I don't know. How long was left when Wyke came off?
I think maybe 10 minutes or
Yeah.
I think about 7, 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made much difference. I think we needed another 45 minutes to potentially get another goal the way we were playing. So, obviously, Wyke's always going to start the way he's the only striker that sort of seems confident enough to be able to get a goal at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know. Who else? We've got that new one, haven't we? What's his name?
Oh, the Jordan Jones guy.
Yeah. Do you think
the winger? Yeah.
Is he able to start pretty much straight away? Do we know?
He's available to start because he was signed a little bit too late from yesterday.
Oh, right.
So he can start. He can start on Tuesday in the Papa John's Trophy game against MK Dons. But no, apart from that, no, he couldn't play today. But yeah, he's free to play on this Tuesday and next week as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what he can bring to the table, because if for some reason Wyke just does stop scoring, which is highly possible, he's proven that he has long periods of time without scoring. If he does just suddenly go into that mode again, what we're going to have, we've got McGeady, and without McGeady and White, pretty much we'd be in the bottom half of the table, I would think. So we need hopefully that this new striker can kick on and get us a bit more firepower, a bit more pace up front. I don't know much about them, but yeah, that's my opinion on the strikers, to be honest with you. I still think we could do with somebody else, to be honest with you. We've got Danny Graham, who's never going to get on the team again, in my opinion. Greg, he's gone. So we do need somebody else as well as that guy. So we'll see what happens.
Just a question for everyone. Where do you think it all went wrong today? Because I just didn't see a good performance from the team. Nothing worked. I thought there was a disconnection between the defense and the attack. So Dan, we'll come to you first. Where do you sort of see the where it went wrong?
Yeah, defense always starts from the attack, and for me, as you said, they weren't exactly sort of linking as well today. They weren't holding it up every time we kept clearing it. After we scored our first goal, it just kept coming back and back, balls into the box, balls into the box, balls into the box. So yeah, the strikers didn't hold it up or didn't win a foul to get everyone back or to take the pressure off the game. It was just kept coming back, and eventually they scored, which is what's going to happen because they put so much pressure and so much. They were at us for about 25, 30 minutes. They were completely all over us. We were absolutely awful for that stage of the game, and you could tell it was coming. 100%, you could tell it was coming. So yeah, there was definitely a lack of sort of connection between the strikers and the rest of the team because just as I said, it just kept coming back.
Carl, where do you think it went wrong today?
Like I said, overall 6 out of 10. But there's no real power leader in that defence. We've got a power leader in Ledbetter in midfield. We've got Aidan McGeady, who's kind of like a leader for up front, but we don't have one at the back. That is what we're missing. We need a leader who can actually control that defence and say, right, you're messing up in this area, you're messing up in this area, close them down, shut them down. We don't have that yet. We need that leader in defence. Until we get that, and I can literally agree with Paul, we're going to finish 10th. Easy.
Yeah, well, we were missing Bailey Wright today, and that's our sort of leader in defence. Do you think we missed him today then?
Oh yeah, big time.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like what Carl hit the nail on the head. When Bailey Wright is our leader at the back. I know he does have the off games and sometimes he's a bit shaky, but he is our leader at the back. And when he plays, I feel much more confident in at least getting a potential clean sheet. I've watched him in games shouting way back when he was playing with Flanagan, shouting at Flanagan. He does command that area really well. So I'm hoping he's just out for the one game. It was just a bit of concussion, wasn't it? So they should hopefully be back for the next game, I would hope.
Yeah, we've got Michael Bowers here as well.
Hey, brother.
Hello, Michael.
Michael, how are you?
I think
connection.
Hang on. There we go.
Yeah, good.
This is weird. This is weird. I can.
It will sort itself out in a minute. It's always a bit dodgy when you join on the phone. Michael, is that all right? Can you hear us now? Can't hear you, Michael. Have you muted yourself? I don't know.
Hold on. I'll try.
I can hear you now. All right, mate. All right. Where were we? So the defenders. Dan, I don't know if it came to you. Do you think we missed Bailey Wright today?
100%. 100%. Without him, we're a completely different defence. And also, for me, if I was Dion Sanderson, I'd be thinking, how am I not getting into this defence when Bailey Wright isn't playing? Because what's the point of being on loan at a team if even when you've got injuries, you're still not getting a game? And for me, I'd be fuming because he's a class act, I think, and he's got the potential to be a great player. So I don't understand why he's not getting any game time either. I think he should be thrown in at the start.
Yeah. Also, Paul, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say briefly, we have got, I think Graham might be popping in a bit. If he comes in, just give him a few minutes before we add him. Yeah. If he comes in.
Yeah, cool. No problem.
Sorry, go on.
Carry on. I wasn't going to actually say anything. Go on.
I was just going to have a little look through these messages in the chat, see what's happening. We've got Stephen Nesbitt. O'Brien is poor holding the ball up. I tend to agree with him. I know a lot of people. I know Jack quite likes him, but yeah, I thought he was pretty poor today as well. Ethan Dixon, I would have preferred us to make a foul on the edge of the box rather than letting them win the header, to be honest. Yeah, professional fouls do come in handy. We do need them sometimes. We've got a couple of people in. I'll read some more messages later, but I'll let you take over, Matthew.
Yeah, so we've got Michael and Jordan in here. Michael, is your connection okay now? Can you hear us fine?
It's okay, as long as you can hear and see. All right.
Yeah. I can hear you fine. Yeah. So what's your what's your reaction of the game? What do you think?
Well, first of all, it got quite a bit animated earlier, so it was actually quite funny to watch between Matthew and Paul and was it Jack in particular. I do agree in some ways in the sense that performance definitely wouldn't have been good enough to win the game. You could argue it wasn't good enough to get a draw from the game. But for me, whether we deserved it or not, the fact is you're going 2-1 up into the 89th minute, and it's awful game management to not see that game out, irrespective of whether we would have deserved it or not. That was, I mean, like I said, I haven't watched the goal back because I can't be bothered to watch it back. But for me, if from what I remember of it, I think Jack is right. I think that we allowed the shot from, I think, Akinde to come through. And then McFadzean's just letting Tyler Graham go to the right-hand side of the 6-yard box and just smash it into the back of the net. I think Burge was completely helpless for that second goal. I think his defence gave absolutely nothing for him whatsoever. So, again, it's poor game management. And it's, like I said on the chat earlier, you look at the likes of, Plymouth, Northampton, Burton, Wigan, MK Dons, Rochdale, Gillingham, Bristol Rovers, and there's another result I've forgotten, MK Dons, maybe whoever else it is, Plymouth. It's those sort of results that will cost us going up. And even if people say, oh, the squad's not good enough, come on, against those teams, it easily should be good enough. Against big sides, it should be good enough for me.
Yeah, no, completely agree with you, Michael.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing something.
Spot on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think our players are good enough. I just don't know what really went wrong today out on the pitch. Really, it was very disappointing to see. Jordan, welcome. You joined the live stream. We'll get you in here now. What did you take from the whole game?
I think we played poorly, and I think obviously going back to McFadzean, he's not the best at that left back role. We should have played Renew left back, in my opinion. Overall, I think we're all missing Bailey Wright at the back, but obviously he's injured. And I think that it would we would have been very lucky to grab that win because we did play poorly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where do you think it went wrong? I said earlier, I think there was a disconnection between the defence and attack. We were either passing around the back, booting the ball up the pitch and just losing it. Where do you think it sort of went wrong on the pitch?
I think defence, definitely, like what Dan said, every time we were trying to clear it out, it would just keep coming back and forward. And it was giving them the more pressure to come back on us and just try and get those goals, and obviously it did happen.
Yeah. So I say quickly to Jacob, I've sent you a link on a messenger, so you can join if you want.
Jordan, sorry, Matthew. Jordan, do you think that missing Bailey Wright in defence was kind of like the big key to us conceding that second goal?
I don't think for the second goal, but I do think obviously with Flanagan coming back in, he hasn't played for a while. But I know that Bailey Wright hasn't been, obviously, he didn't have the best performance after a few games ago, but I do think with him being out, I do think it has made the defence a little more weak, and it has cost a little bit of the defence this game.
Yeah, no, completely.
But I do think he plays a big part in that, with being a big part of our defence.
Yeah, just got there. My brother William Lee. Hello. Yeah, no, completely agree. We've got Jacob joining us now from SAFC Fan TV. Jacob, your reaction of the game today?
Well, once again, even though we're in the playoffs after this result, we've blown the opportunity to move into an even better position once again. I mean, I've highlighted my frustration on the review I've just done for SAFC Fan TV, but it's a mirror image of the performance that we had against Gillingham at the Stadium of Light last season, wasn't it? To be honest, I mean, once to get like, I don't normally like to have a go at referees, but he was awful today. Like, how many bookings did they get away with? But then again, we should have known what Gillingham were going to bring when they came up to our place today. Physicality, you know, a lot of presence in the box. Was it their lad Jackson with the long throws? We couldn't deal with that at all. I mean, I think they hit the post from one of them second half, and you could tell an equalising goal was coming. But this is a question for all of you guys. Did Lee Johnson get it wrong in terms of his team selection today? Sanderson, you know, every time I watch him play, he looks solid on the ball. His positioning's perfect when it comes to his defensive duties. What does he have to do to start a game? And then you bring Tom Flanagan back in, who's literally just come back from a broken foot injury, straight into the starting line. I mean, I don't know whether that was a tactical change because he's one of those centre-backs that likes to get stuck in and he's got the height presence to head the ball away. But what do you guys feel?
Well, personally, I think you're spot on. I think Sanderson would have started ahead of Flanagan for me, and he definitely would have started ahead of McFadden even. I know it's not his natural position, but I just think he's an all-round better defender. McFadden's better going forward. We all know that. But when it comes to the important, like their goal, we need somebody that can be back quick enough to defend it, and I think Sanderson would have done that.
I also felt with Winchester being taken out as well, I think we never really looked like we had like a solid presence in the middle of the park today. I know Scowen and Ledbetter have formed a solid partnership, but I think with an extra man in the middle of the park, I think it would have made our passing game a lot better, personally. And I think that's what, because Lee Johnson, to be honest, I think this is the first time that tactically he has got it wrong today, but I have every faith that he will learn from this today. But then again, he has to get his managerial duties spot on in terms of his decisions this week in regards to what team he puts out on Tuesday and what team he'll want to save and be fully fit for the league game on Saturday. If you offer me the opportunity, although this sounds a bit silly, to get knocked out on Tuesday but pick up all 3 points on Saturday, I'd snap your hand off and take that right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
just want a question.
I would.
A question to everyone, really. Whoever wants to answer can. It's what do you think of Lee Johnson's substitutions today? Because I thought that taking Wyckoff was a bad choice for me, because you've just taken off one of your attacking options, and I thought after he went off, every time we got the ball in the box, there was no one there really. So Michael, we'll start with you. What did you think of Lee Johnson's substitutions?
Yeah, it's the first time this season that I think I've been quite critical of Lee Johnson's subs. I was surprised, first of all, he waited so long to make more than one change. That's always Parkinson-esque. But at the same time, like, Wyke was actually using his physicality fairly well, I thought, when he was on the pitch, when he was actually just doing some simple stuff. Well, okay, there was a couple of times he gave free kicks away, so maybe I'm contradicting myself a bit there. But when Wyke was up there, he's someone who's supposed to be quite good at holding the ball up and just sort of relieving pressure on your back line. And it was blatantly obvious to tell later on in the game, Gillingham were pressing and constantly getting back at us all the time. And even then, I just felt it would have been something simple as get fresh energy on in the middle of the park, or just relieving pressure on the back line. It was literally long ball forward, missed the header, long ball back, defence has to deal with it again. It was literally that same pattern last 20 minutes. And don't get me wrong, I do agree with Jacob. I think Lee Johnson, unlike, say, Phil Parkinson, will actually attempt to learn from this and hopefully going forward will...
See you later, Michael. All right, then.
I can just say, I don't know, we've got a Stephen here, but he might not have video, so we'll add him and see if we can get some audio through at least.
But Adam, Stephen, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. We can't see you, but as long as we can hear
right. You. Let's have a look.
Stephen, Oh, here we go. Right. So, Stephen, what did you make of the game?
Well, from what I've heard from all of you, yeah, I mean, in the end, I think the draw was a fair result. But yeah, we just conceded too much possession again in the middle of the park, and let them come on. I mean, we knew what the game plan was going to be, like throw long balls in, that sort of that sort of game. We just didn't defend it very well. I thought anyway.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing I really want to speak about, and I've got Graham here. Am I all right to add him, Paul?
Yeah,
He's in here. Hello, Graham.
Afternoon, gents.
Hey, you all right?
Yeah,
just I want to put a question to everyone quickly. We were taking short goal kicks constantly, and I think that put us under immense pressure every time we did it. What did we all think with that? Dan, should we start with you?
Yeah, so they're pressing us. They're pressing us high the whole game, and we kept taking it short. And then the centre back was 2 feet down the line, and if we don't hold it up or win a free kick, then we give it straight back, and it just comes straight back to us. So yeah, I thought you need a bit of sort of grit and strength up at the top of the pitch to try and win a free kick or win the ball. Just hold it up and let the defence get up, because the defence would have been knackered today. Every time they try to get up, the ball's just coming straight back to them, and if that keeps coming, then the other team is just gonna score.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just eating my chicken tikka.
One of the comments there from EJJ, he's saying that Sanderson is kind of a bit of a groin injury, hence why Flanagan came back into the fold. So that maybe explains why we're all not seeing Sanderson start.
Should he be in the squad then? Yeah.
Sorry?
Should Sanderson have been in the squad? If that's the case, though.
Yeah. Well, they're doing the same thing with O'Nien, aren't they? O'Nien, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, he should be fit enough to at least play 45 minutes.
Yeah. Obviously, Graham joined us. Graham, what was your reaction of the game?
I got to be honest. I thought we started right in the first 5 minutes, cracking goal, and you think yourself, 5 minutes in, it's looking good. 1-0 up at home. We've followed a bit at home recently, and then all of a sudden we just got battered and bullied everywhere. They played like a really high press line, and you talk just there now just about the short goal kicks. What on earth were we thinking? We were kind of like the master of our own downfall, really, by playing those short balls at the back. We were putting ourselves under more pressure. We really were, and I think there was a number of them had a really poor game. I'm not really one for giving footballers a bad name, but yet again, players like Scone, invisible for most of it, and I think there were some players. Aidan O'Brien, he's not a little lad by any means, but he was getting bullied and managed off the ball the whole time. Huh?
You went missing O'Brien today, I felt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was some of the play in the end of the first half where there was a couple of times in quick succession. He just literally got nudged off the ball, and you think, well, really, really poor.
Yeah.
Go on, were you going to say something?
No, I totally agree with Graham there. His assessment's exactly how I would have seen it as well. Not good enough. I don't know. No. What do you think of the substitutions? Matthew mentioned it earlier on about taking Wyke off. I know it wasn't long to go in the game, but did that maybe give them a bit more orders to come at us rather than sit back so much?
Personally, I didn't really understand that. If I'm honest, if you're playing with him, or leading the line, if you will, and O'Brien's supposed to be playing off him, you then take the only player that's been reasonable in that position. So then you take him off for somebody who's not going to score a goal. So you kind of knacker yourself, really.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I was about to ask Jordan of what he thought of the sort of the short goal kicks and that kind of game plan that we're going for. Jordan, what did you make of? Especially in the first half and pretty much in the second half as well. Constant short goal kicks.
Yeah, it just gives them a chance to run outward, and I think we need to start and pass the ball faster and try and get it in the middle and then try and get it up as I think was done. That's how they try and get like the free kicks and like if we can to like get it into the box and then try and score.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't keep doing short, like not constant short goal kicks.
Yeah, Carl, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, you get taught never do short goal kicks because you'll always get caught no matter what. Always use the long kicks. And for Burge to keep doing short kick after short kick after short kick, I was literally screaming, literally going, didn't they teach you anything right? Get a long ball up. Get that pressure off the defence. Absolutely ridiculous. I think Burge needs to look himself in the mirror and go, right, maybe short kicks aren't working for me. Maybe I should just hoof it straight up.
Yeah,
That's the same with the short corners too.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
The thing with playing the ball short all the time, I can't imagine for 1 minute that that's his own thinking to play like that. That's clearly come from the training ground somewhere. We'll play the ball short, we'll play it around for whatever, and it's just like it's not working. Did anybody see that corner where they were all congregated on like the top right hand corner of the 18-yard box? And then they played the ball short. You think, well, what on earth was that all about?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what that was about.
Yeah, no, that was a main one for me where all the players are on the corner of the box, and then we get a corner and it goes to no one. I'm like,
yeah,
what? Yeah, all your players are over there and you missed all of them. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. As you can see on your screen, we've just got Gary joining us. Gary, how are you doing?
I'm good, guys. How you doing? It's just a quick
right.
quick appearance. I'm wearing my Gillingham blue. I did tell you I was a Gillingham fan, didn't I? Apparently there's a slot available for a Gillingham fan, so there you go.
What did you make of the game?
I'm massively disappointed at the end. I think like you guys were saying from what I heard earlier, you know, to see it out. You know, I think we were pretty lucky to be in the position we were. McGeady did that lad for the penalty, didn't he? Basically, pegged, checked back and got him to put his arms out. Even the penalty itself wasn't great. So yeah, to go in 2-1, I was happy with that. I thought we did okay second half. I actually didn't think they were going to score. I thought we'd give it up. And then just one long ball's all it takes. Yeah, gutted really. I thought this might be the home form getting turned around and didn't happen. I think I'm most annoyed with, if I was doing my normal video, I'd sort of be just most annoyed with the naivety of the players, not being able to see the game out. We ended up chasing to get a third goal at some point, so we didn't need to. Just hold the ball, take it in the corner, play it easy. But we don't seem to have that mentality in the team. But anyway, that's my whinge. Cut down to about 30 seconds to the normal 3 minutes.
It wouldn't be the same without your whinge, Gary. We absolutely love it.
At least you know what you're going to get, eh?
Yeah, exactly. You're like the Dino of the group, weren't you? Really?
No comment.
Yeah, my wife calls me worse than that. Her weekend's ruined now. She knows that.
Oh God!
Yeah,
well, we really appreciate you coming on, mate. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
Jacob.
Yeah, I've got a point to make regarding the tactical decisions from the manager also. So he brings Gooch on today, sticks him on the right-hand side, considering that when he came on against Ipswich on Tuesday, he was more effective on the left. And on Tuesday, he also played Embleton, who wasn't even involved today, which I thought was very harsh, considering he played very well when he came on Tuesday night on the right-hand side. And it was, for me, Gooch, even though he injected a bit of pace into the side today, he's very ineffective at the moment when it comes to crossing the ball. He always has to try and shove a defender to the floor in order to cut in on his left and try and have a dig at goal, or get the ball into the box, or just run towards the byline and the ball goes out of play. I think he needs to improve on that game. But then again, I think Gooch, when he starts games, you do see the best of him. I think right now he's made a statement that he needs to return to the starting lineup, I believe.
Well, I think with Gooch as well, I think he got bullied by a lot of their big defenders. I mean, just before we conceded the second goal, he goes on that run, and then he's not going to get on the other side of that defender. And you could say, really, if he goes down there and the referee gives a foul for us, and then Gillingham don't score and we win 2-1, do we then say, right? This is what I said earlier to Jack. I want to put a question to everyone now. If we won that game 2-1, is it we played bad? Doesn't matter. We got the win. But now that happened. That scenario happened. They went the other end and scored. And now we won. Oh god, we didn't win the game, and we're all quite negative. So Jacob, I'll just come straight back to you again. You know, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting because I think if we'd won the game, then I think potentially the manager would have not looked at it at all and think it's 3 points. Then we need just to continue performances in a similar fashion. But hopefully, us conceding that goal, even though we could have done with the win today, it's a wake-up call in terms for Lee to change things about and how we are as a team in terms of, because let's be honest, if we're still continuing to play this 4-2-2-2, is it? For me, I thought it was 4-4-2 for the last few games, but it's not working. We have no width in the team at all.
And I think what makes it worse, Jacob, is the fact we can't play the ball through the middle either very well.
No, exactly.
Exactly. Can I come to Dan as well? Just the same question. Is that sort of phrase of we didn't play well, but you know we won? Is that still an acceptable phrase now, where you can just change a little scenario and then they go on and equalise, and now you know we haven't won the game?
Not of today's performance, because I think today's was different because we were clearly lucky to even really get in that position. Because I'm not being funny, but after we scored our first goal, we were getting absolutely battered. So I think today's game, even if we did win, I still think Lee Johnson would have come out and still said in his interview, like, we've got a lot to work on, because he's just that sort of manager. If it was Phil Parkinson, then it might be a different story, because he would have just said, "Oh, we're brilliant." Whereas I think Johnson, he's got it up here, and I think he would have realised, even if we did win, that there was a lot of things we did poorly.
Yeah, completely agree. Jordan, what's your take on that?
I think with the performance, no, because we did play terrible. Like, after that first goal, it was just all them. And a lot of people would probably notice that it was like throughout the full game. After that, it was just getting dominated by all of that. So I think Johnson knows obviously where we're going wrong, and he is trying to improve it. But going back to what Jacob said, the 4-2-2 is just not working. We can't play like that. Like, the wings seem to be better for us because we can't play it in the middle.
Yep. Yeah, no, completely agree. Carl, we'll come to you again. So I was trying to get around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what was that? Sorry, Gary just got in there. What was that, Gary?
Sorry, I was going to pick up on the point made about Gooch. I'm a big fan of Gooch, but I agree. Second half, it's almost like he wants to prove his fitness and make lots of runs and take people on. That's not what we wanted from him second half. And actually, you do look at that last minute thing and think, just hold on to the ball. You don't need to run at people and lose it. I think O'Nien would have been a better shout, because he's just a bit more savvy in terms of keeping the ball. So Gooch for me didn't look back to fitness, and that ends up costing us in the end. Just another quick one on that one as well. The substitutions. Donny Collins made a really good comment at the end with Sanderson. He brings him on and puts him right back. But actually, in terms of the long balls, if he puts him in as a shield, so like puts him in front of the centre halves to attack the ball and not have to worry about marking anybody, he's got physical presence. He can obviously get up and head a ball. That might have been a better shout from Johnson. But I think we left ourselves open a little bit with the substitutions. I don't think they worked.
Yeah, exactly. There weren't substitutions to sort of get on and control the game. There was sort of, to keep it moving. And I don't think that was probably the best tactic. I completely agree. No, it's a fair point. Sorry, Cole. We'll just go back to you again with the question of, we all played well. Didn't play well. Still won the game. Obviously with the scenario changing. Do you think that sort of phrase is still acceptable?
Not in my eyes. No, I would still give it 6 out of 10, even if we won it. Going back to what Gary said, he's spot on, absolutely spot on with what he said. 09 would have been better in terms of play. The substitutions, as I said before, I don't know what Lee Johnson was thinking, taking Charlie Wyckoff and leaving O'Brien on. I would have took O'Brien off and left Charlie on. Jacob, spot on there, mate. 4-2-2-2. It's not working. And I've said it before, it's not working. We need a change formation. We need to work on a formation which Lee Johnson knows and which he's used at Bristol City, and just start winning games.
Yeah, completely agree. Stephen, we'll come all the way down to you. What do you make? Do performances matter as long as you get the result?
Well, I mean, today, they didn't play, particularly well. But we were battered more today, I thought, wasn't it, from them, with their tactics and all that. And so we didn't get out of the game after the first goal, and that's what really matters here, I think. And it would have been an unlikely win, I thought. You knew it was going to come, didn't you? Like that, you'll just get one chance. We didn't see the game out, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of things today. He needs to. I don't know. It's midfield still lacking, isn't it? We need someone in that midfield to hold it up as well as the forward line. I don't know who's going to get for that.
Well, yeah. We did sign Winchester. He's going to do the job eventually. Obviously he didn't get a game today, did he? So no. So do you think that the team choice today, the starting 11 was maybe? Do you think my question is, do you think the midfielders today was a good choice to start them, or do you maybe think we should have started Winchester over Scowen? Or go on, Jacob, go on.
I personally think he should have had an extra man in there for a free. Rather, I think Scowen and Ledbetter are playing well because they're good as the pair. That's what I think. And obviously, Ledbetter, I thought, I don't know if you know that brilliant tackle he made second half to, I think it was deny Akinde a goal. That was absolutely brilliant from him. But then again, with Ledbetter, personally, I think with him, I don't want him involved at all on Tuesday, because he needs to, with the age he's at now, he needs to save his fitness for the league games 100%. Then again, I thought Winchester potentially, I think, would have been a more solid choice, helping the two of them out in there today. But also even Embleton had a great game on Tuesday night. But then again, with him, is he more effective when you play him out wide, or could he have done a job when you play him in the centre alongside Scowen and Ledbetter? And then today also, Max Powell, he started the game at right back, but in the second half, late on, he ended up back in the middle of the park again. But hopefully we'll be able to solve this issue we have at fullback, where we know which fullbacks are going to be starting consistently week in, week out, considering we've brought Vokes in now.
Completely agree. Dan, do you have anything else to add on to that?
Yeah, I think we should revert back to the 4-3-3 formation. I think we need another man in the centre of midfield. We never, in games, we never have control of the midfield. We always get overrun in there or bullied in there. Like today, we had Lebert and Scowen just in there. Like, you need a presence. They're not very big blokes. They're not like a big presence that wins balls. Gets it down and plays. So yeah, I don't know who the man can be in there. Maybe Winchester is the man. We don't really know, because he's not started too many games. But
Right.
I think revert back to three in midfield. I would definitely.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Yeah, go on, carry on.
So, well, I thought Scowen did. He had a decent game today. Like,
I thought he was alright.
Yeah, and that's the. I mean, I couldn't really fault him today. It's probably the other people around him, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, Power, he's off and on, isn't he? He can put in a decent cross, but I don't know about the times. He's still going missing, I think. I mean, that's just my opinion, like.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Graham, do you have anything to say about the midfield?
I just wonder, and I listen to the point of playing three across the middle. My only wonder would be if you still played Scowen and Ledbetter in that middle bit, would you play your third midfielder in front of them or drop like Ledbetter back, so as in like a covering, like a holding midfield, if you will? Because bless him, he's not getting on. He's not as quick as he used to be. And would you just play him in that position where he holds, where he's like a link between the defence and the midfield, and allow two others to play in front of him? So, for example, Winchester and Scone, like that. Would that fare any more benefit to us? Do we think?
Well, I think where Ledbetter plays, he sort of does drop in deep quite a lot, and maybe that is one sort of frustrating thing I find with the team is that we get the ball in the midfield and then we pass it back, and it sort of loses the momentum. We have the tempo. Yeah. That's what it feels like to me. I personally, I would prefer to play sort of two midfielders and then a midfielder slightly more up the pitch. And I love 09 to be. Yeah, I'd love 09 to be that player.
Yeah,
like the old central attacking midfielder that we used to have in old money. We don't seem to have anymore. We've got all these trendy positions now. So play you two across the middle, but then have a guy play in front of them, just as all the links all over the pitch. One behind, one in front. So you've always got a constant flow of football. But this whole business of us playing the ball backwards, honestly, it's infuriating. You think the team's going to get somewhere with it, and all of a sudden they start playing backwards. And okay, I get that possession's important because if you've got the ball, they're not going to score. But playing it backwards a lot is it's difficult to watch. And you talked earlier on about our results. Is the result more important than the game? Well, yeah, it is. However, for 3 months, 4 months, we've watched scrappy win after scrappy draw after scrappy win. Listen, I get where the fans are not the experts and everything else, but there is only so much you can actually watch that for before it comes absolutely. And I think that's where a lot of the fan frustration comes from, just watching what appears to be backward rubbish football a lot. I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And another thing that annoys me, there's something I've said quite a lot. There's another thing that annoys me. Another thing, quite a lot of things do, but one thing I would say is that when we have a free kick or a corner or something like that, we always want to take it short. And the idea of short free kicks is to get that ball moving quick and get it up the pitch. But when we take them, we go, oh, we'll put it backwards. We'll pass it. And when we played against Ipswich last Tuesday, I remember one of the Sky commentators was saying, he said Sunderland had a great opportunity there to pass the ball and get the ball moving up the pitch. And he just said they passed it backwards.
Yeah.
And they just lost all the momentum. And they're like, why are the players doing this,
But that's combined, Matthew. That's combined, Matthew. When we get free kicks and we get corners, we very rarely beat the front man. Or if we do beat the front man, it's about 30 yards too long. So
yeah.
So where do you go from there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I just see, I think Graham's spot on there because with the minute we couldn't break a twig. If we're lucky, if we're lucky, I mean that goal, you get the odd goal from it, but not consistently. And I think I did have a point there. It's actually gone. Something that Graham was just saying. It's gone. Forget it. I did have a point, but it's gone.
Can I just? I know you've probably touched on this already. And historically, I've not been a massive fan of Aidan McGeady. However, the
He
one
was
thing I
poor.
will say, if it wasn't for listen, a goal today, won us the penalty, and you just there's some games where literally if we hadn't had him on the field, we'd be in a much worse place off for him. We really would have been, and I'm sure you've touched on that before I got in here. But
Yeah.
Yep, no, that's completely fair enough. Jacob, do you have anything you want to say on like McGeady or anything Graham touched on there?
Well, again, McGeady thrives best when he's playing in a team that have a lot of width. Right? What's he going to do when he's playing in a 4-2-2-2? So someone tell me that. It's baffling, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree. I think the players their movement isn't good enough for a player like McGeady. They're making him look bad. Like you could say that about sort of Aidan O'Brien, and I think I keep saying Aidan O'Brien's better if he's in behind the striker. When White went off, Aidan O'Brien was making these runs, and I remember Gooch, he came in the box and put a cross in, went near like literally no one, but the run Aidan O'Brien made was awful. It's like the ball's never going to reach you there. So I think it's these players who aren't running into these little gaps and actually showing them. The only player I actually saw do that was 09 when they had a little bit on the touchline where they knew where each other they knew where each other were, on the pitch. So I don't know really. Paul, what do you think?
I was just going to say that thing did come back to us. When we do break, the final ball is absolutely shocking. I mean, if it wasn't for McGeady's the only one that can do it successfully for me. Even Jack Diamond, he's and Gooch, they just run into brick walls or into nothing. Some of the crosses I watched Jack Diamond do, which was a simple cross from the right into the box area, and it was miles away and under no pressure whatsoever. Like surely they must do this every day in training. So for me, that was one of the most frustrating things, and that's little things like that. It's not just because Burge did this or because somebody did that. It's every single individual player is not performing, with exception maybe McGeady. I know he does have an off game, but today I thought he was man of the match. So I think that's basically what I'm talking about. When I'm saying the performance is not, you can't keep winning on performances like that. You might get the odd lucky one. I even tweeted about it. That's it. Yeah.
I think the other thing as well is you touched on what happens on the training ground. Now, obviously, Lee Johnson gets a different view to what we get. All right, we get the 90 minutes on a Saturday and the 90 minutes on a Tuesday, right? But he's clearly seen something in the starting 11 that he's played today. All right, fine, fair enough. Listen, I'm not really a big fan of that Callum McFadzean either. I just that's a whole other story. I think he's stealing a wage, if I'm honest. But then you look at our subs bench, right? Look at the subs that we had today. Gooch, O'Neill, Sanderson, Embleton, Winchester, and the new lad, Vokins. Right? Now, we didn't really expect Vokins to really get a game today, if I'm honest. But for the league that we're playing in, the quality of the substitutes that we've got, how can we not turn a game around? How can we not turn a team around? I mean, I think, Jacob, as you mentioned it, why didn't Embleton get a game? Embleton could have been, he played very well when he came on the other night, and for me, I'd have probably taken O'Brien off for him.
And I thought was it Embleton? I think I'll admit, like I've criticised him a bit before that Ipswich game, but I thought on that right hand side on Tuesday, he linked up with the midfield superbly, and every time he got the ball, he wanted to go forward with it. The only thing I don't like with Embleton is when he's taking the set pieces. I don't think he's the right man for that. I think it should be Grant every single time. But then again, you finish my time.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there.
Nah,
but I think certainly with set pieces, you want somebody with a bit of experience behind him, and I'm not saying that Embleton doesn't have that. But you're absolutely spot on. It should be somebody like Ledbetter, like McGeady, somebody of that ilk. Somebody who's been around a bit and has done it.
Yeah, Can I just ask a question as well to everyone? Someone who I don't think really played too well and didn't really get into the game was Jack Diamond. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Jack Diamond because I think he's he's not what everyone sort of makes him out to be, and I don't
Overrated.
Overrated, and I think he's sort of very average. He does about 100 step overs too many on the ball, and I don't really know. Jacob, we'll start with you. What's your opinion on sort of Jack Diamond at the moment?
Where I stand with Diamond, right, he's much better if he's playing in a free up top. If you stick him like fully out on the right wing, he goes missing at times. He hasn't got the capability to cross the ball consistently, like throughout the entire game, and at times he's weak at beating his fullback as well. I think it's best with Diamond if you're playing in a counter-attacking formation like a 4-3-3, because he breaks up the pitch with great pace like we did in that Lincoln game when we smacked them 4-0. With Diamond, though, I've seen a few tweets at full time. Will he be a better option coming off the bench, potentially? Right now, I would agree with that. To be honest, I think now it's reaching a point where I think Diamond could do with a spell out the side and just coming on in games late on to try and change things, considering we've brought in this Jones lad now from Rangers.
Do you not think that Diamond was quite fortunate because controversial as might sound, do you not think that Diamond was quite fortunate because of the downfall of Phil Parkinson, and it was kind of like an easy way out? The fans wanted Young to come in and play, and there was him and Dan Neil. And I think Diamond got a lot more exposure than I think he thought he was going to get, and now he's kind of become an absolute regular. I think you're probably right in that we need to kind of rein him in a bit. And if this Jordan Jones that's come in, is here to do a job, which you would suggest that's exactly why he's here, then I bring Diamond on later in the game where he's a young lad, fresh, fit, and can run and run and run and run and run.
Well, it's interesting because with Jones, I'm not sure what his fitness is actually like, because I think I've looked at his stats recently. He hasn't played a handful of games for Rangers at all, really, in the past few months.
He felt evident he was a bit of a allegedly a bit of a naughty boy.
But you need those characters in the dressing room that's chasing promotion.
Absolutely.
Can we just come to Dan with the original point of Jack Diamond and where we sort of stand on him? Where do you stand on him, Dan?
I'm just wondering where he's going to get a game, if I'm honest. Because if we go to the 4-3-3, I'd have Jones, Wyke, and McGeady, and I reckon that'd be our strongest sort of front three. And then also you've got off the bench, you've got Embleton, you've got Diamond. He's not a starter in my eyes. Off the bench, yeah, don't get me wrong, he's different. I'll give him that. But is he gonna get past a lot of players? I'm just not really convinced by him yet, if I'm honest. And back to the formation thing about earlier, I'd play Lebbett and Scowen sort of defensive, and I'd definitely play a 9 ahead of him. Then I'd have the 3 that I've just said. That'd be my front 6 sort of.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Paul, Jack Diamond.
I've always liked Jack Diamond since he started getting his chances. I think he gives us that pace that we've been missing. But what Jacob just said there hit the nail on the head. I didn't realise it until recently, but I think he would be a bit better at being more of an impact player, coming on with 35 minutes to go, fresh legs. I also find him disappointing, obviously. We're playing a team that's sitting back, sitting deep. He's not very good at breaking teams down or getting decent crosses in. So maybe when we're playing, I think he plays better when we're playing better teams, when we've got a bit more space on the ball.
Yeah, it's more open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would keep him for games like that. There's going to be individual games where he's not suited and games where he is suited. It's up to Lee Johnson to figure out when is the best time to play him. I think we're starting to figure it out, so hopefully he is too. But I do like him. I think he's got lots of potential. If he stops running into brick walls and improves his delivery into the final third, I think he's got the potential of being fantastic for us. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens with that.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that Jack Diamond, I don't think too much responsibility can put on him because I don't think he's capable of delivering that. In my opinion, he should have been a runner instead of a footballer because he's a fantastic runner. Don't get me wrong. He can run with the ball for days. But the thing is he gets pushed off the ball very, very, very easily. and you think he's so weak. And I know people make these, I say excuse, but they say, you know, oh, he's a young player, you know, his first proper season in the club. I get that, but this is not the season for me. We should be playing players every single game where, well, you know, just give them a chance. I can't give anyone a chance. This is one of the most important seasons in the club's history, and this is not a season to start testing players and see how they do and whatever. I can't really be doing any of that. I thought Diamond he was very, very poor today. I think, you know, I do agree in a 4-3-3, play him as in the attacking three as maybe a right winger. I think he can offer you something there, like how we played against Lincoln. I thought he did brilliant there in the first half. We only did play the first half, but yeah, I think as long as we use him correctly, you know, we'll get a lot out of him. But I think if we put a bit too much responsibility on him to run down the wings, collect the ball, distribute it out, that is not something that he can do. So yeah, that's where I stand on Jack Diamond. But one thing I do want to ask all of you really is, what do you think of the recruitment so far this month? Obviously, coming to the end of the window, today we've agreed a deal with the Ross County player Ross Stewart. But what do we think of the recruitment so far? Dan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Jake Vokins. I've got a few Southampton mates down here. They spoke highly of him. They said he's not quite ready for the Premier League yet, but they reckon he could play in a Championship. So I think he's an exciting player, and I'll chuck him straight in because I mean he can't be much worse than McFadden for me. No. And you've got to just give him a go. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the same with Sanderson. There's no use having him on loan. He's just going to sit on the bench. Get him stuck in. You know, get him in there. And as for Jones, obviously, he broke those rules. I think he must have gone to a party or something during COVID, which is a bit. But again, if he does well on the pitch, it's all I care about. I don't care. He can do what he wants outside. So get on the pitch, score some goals, get some assists, and I'll be happy. If you can get us promoted, mate, I don't care what you do in your spare time.
To be fair, I heard a rumour that after the Lincoln game, all the Sunderland players went to a party after that game and they all got COVID. I think that's how that worked, and then we had to postpone the games. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So that I completely agree. Really, so let him do what he wants, and once he comes back into the team, just perform. Graham, we'll come to you next. What do you think of the recruitment so far?
I knew you were going to come to me next. I think you know, I think that Vokins be a good signing. You know, coming from a Premier League club, he's a young'un, but I do genuinely believe that he'll be good for us. I think Jones speaks for himself. I entirely agree with this point about Sanderson not being played. What is the point of getting a player on loan to do a job for you and then not play him? I don't understand it. I think it's highly unlikely now. Although I don't know much about this Scottish. In fact, I don't know anything about him at all, apart from that he comes from the far top end of Scotland. So he knows what cold weather's like. So he'll be all right in Sunderland. I would have liked to have seen a proven goal scorer from this league come in to do a job until the end of the season. That would have been my only wish, that we had a proven, you know, League One / Championship forward who was able to do something for us, rather than leaving it a chance with somebody that I don't think many people have ever heard of. And that's about it.
Yeah, Jacob, the recruitment so far, what do you think?
I saw a tweet yesterday saying that this geezer thought it was the best January transfer window we've had since Allardyce, since we brought Kone and Kazri in, which it all depends on how well they do when they're embedded into the team, to be fair. But listen, if we can get, I don't know how conclusive the deal is for the Ross County striker Stewart that we're about to bring in. His stats are concerning from what I've looked at, but then again, he could prove us all wrong and then start putting in effective performances up front. I think considering the salary cap's in place, I think we've done pretty well, to be honest. But I still think potentially one, possibly two, could be out the door by Monday as well. I mean, you look at Chris Maguire wasn't even in the squad today. Is that an indication that he's away?
Yeah. Maybe. And also just want to say with Ross Stewart, the striker, he scored 2 more goals than Grigg this season, so we're already doing a little bit better there, because I think he has scored 2 this season.
Just on that point though, 2 goals, 19 games, and we're prepared to pay £300,000 for it.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot of money in this league.
Thing is we signed Will Grigg for 3 to 4 million pounds.
Okay,
The deal's
25 goals.
You win.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see what he does in the Sunderland shirt. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
before I speak to a case here, Paul, just come to you quickly about what do you think of the recruitment so far?
Well, I'm not very good at knowing what players are like until they come here. And to be honest with you, I don't care what they were like before they come here. You just have to look at Will Grigg for that. Stats mean nothing with previous teams. I'm happy with the recruitment because I think we need new players and fresh ideas at the club. So I'm excited and I can't wait to see them get their chance. So, yeah, it's all good, but I'll judge them on the performances within our team.
Brilliant. And as everyone can see, joined us, got a fantastic channel supporter, Acacia Cameron Jude. Acacia, how are you doing?
Jacob.
How are you doing, Acacia? It's finally good to hear your voice for the first time. It's the first time I've ever heard your voice.
Yeah.
Acacia, what did you think of the game today?
The first half, I thought we played really well with Aidan McGeady scoring that goal. But then second half, when we scored that, when Redburn took that penalty and we missed it, and then he headed it in. I thought he did really well with that one, but then second half, not very good at all.
Where do you think it sort of went wrong today?
I just thought that Lee Burge was doing it all wrong, letting them 2 goals in.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we can say quite a lot about Burge, especially with the first goal as well. He conceded. I mean, that reminded me of watching Lee Camp, Robin Reuter, and Jason Steele all put together. You know, that took me back to the Championship days. That was dreadful. Does anyone want to say a little bit on Lee Burge?
I can if nobody wants to say anything. I think he is our best goalkeeper. He's the best one. He's definitely the best one we've got. But yeah, you can tell he is a League One goalkeeper. Yeah. For me, he's a League One goalkeeper. He's going to make mistakes. As long as it don't cost us too much. I mean, today it has cost us. It's cost us 2 points, I think. But you can't just blame him. It was the rest of the team. His performance wasn't good enough. So yeah, we could do better. We need a better quality goalkeeper, especially if we do manage to get into the Championship.
Yeah. On the chat quickly, AJJ says we need a Shay Given type signing for those that remember that time at the club. Well, I'll tell you who does remember his time at the club, Peter Farrer, who featured in an episode of My Sunderland 11, which is actually on the channel now. So if anyone wants to go watch that, like it and all that, I very much appreciate it. It was a fantastic video.
What a link that was. You couldn't have planned it any better.
I know. I saw it and I was like, I got to do it. I've got to do it.
Well, it's an absolutely brilliant watch. Like, I mean, when you told us about this idea of that starting 11, I was like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. But it's even better than I thought, and it's doing really well. So that's congratulations to you, mate, for doing that.
Oh no, that's fine. It's enjoyable listening to all the stories that people have, because obviously a lot of it is all currently about the current state of the club, and we've been here now for about over an hour now. Thinking, oh, he's bad. But it's actually nice to talk to someone who has a positive memory, and it's nice to hear those stories. So that's sort of what it was all about. But yeah, so I think what Stephen Nesbitt here is saying on the chat as well is that the striker is the next thing to sort out. Is Grigg going anywhere? Well, I think the thing is if we get this Ross Stewart in, right, then Will Grigg's going to leave. That's sort of what Lee Johnson said. He said he's not going to let. Cheers, Oliver. We're not going to let Will Grigg go unless Ross Stewart comes in. Acacia, what's your sort of opinion on that signing and Will Grigg leaving?
I definitely think Ross Stewart should be a good signing for us as a new striker. Because Will Grigg's just not good enough at all. He needs to go. Yeah.
I think every live stream I sort of do end up talking about Will Grigg in some form, and I think we'll just if I could just hear everyone's sort of opinions on do you think he should get another chance, or do you think he should go? Jacob, we'll go and start with you. What do you think?
Will Grigg, nah, not for me, mate. It's just part of a failed regime, part of a disaster of an ownership, which we want to forget about. The quicker we can get him out of the door, the more chance we have potentially of bringing potentially, because I don't know, I heard today at full time we might potentially bring in 2 more in, never mind one, which the first one was obviously the Ross County striker, but also I want to say, coming back to the points we made about Lee Burge, I didn't mind him this season personally. I think he's done a lot better than I expected him to in certain games, but you get the impression watching him, it's sort of like him being in net this season for us. It's like the John McLaughlin bus replacement service, isn't it? It will do a job, but it's not quite consistent over long term, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely, that makes sense. Yeah, Graham, Will Grigg, what's your opinions?
Listen, when it was announced that he signed for us, it was like, oh, this is great, and then he was shit. He's never been anything. He's never been brilliant since he came here, and he's had more second chances than I've had at dinners, and 6'2" and 20 stone. That's a lot of our dinners.
Bacon sandwiches as well.
Oh, they were tremendous this morning, by the way.
Yeah, they look lovely. Yeah.
It's definitely time. It's definitely time for Will Grigg to leave. I don't know where he goes, but he needs to go somewhere. Just not at Sunderland.
I saw yesterday that Shrewsbury is still after him, apparently.
Surprised he'll be able to pay his wages.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think it's only going to be sort of a loan deal. And to be honest, the way I see Will Grigg is, it's a man who hasn't even tried his best. I don't think the only reason why he hasn't succeeded is his own fault. It's nobody else's. So I want to see him gone, but I don't want him to fail. I want him to go to Shrewsbury and do well. If Shrewsbury are willing to take him on, pay some of his wages, and just get him out the club for our best interest and for his as well, I think it's probably the best thing. Dan, did you have your say on Will Grigg?
I can't stand it. It's just the biggest failure, he's just awful, man. It's just the worst thing, the worst situation in my memory. Just get him out as quick as possible. That's all from me, really.
Yeah, Paul, just quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm not much of a singer, but I think it should be Will Grigg is dire, because he is dire. Get his coat on, get him gone, and we'll worry about getting goals from somebody else, because he's never wanted to be here in the first place, I don't think. And for me, I've never seen anything that's impressive. The only thing I remember right in pre-season, Dan Neil putting a through ball through. I can't remember. I think it was Aston Villa or the 23s or something.
Oh no, it was Harrogate.
Harrogate.
The mighty Harrogate.
Yeah, he took the goal well, and I thought, people said he looks leaner. I remember Jacob saying it on the SAFC fan TV. He looks lean. He looks ready to go. He wasn't. He wasn't ready to go. So that's my opinion.
No, missing open goals, and in my opinion, a person who misses an open goal or whatever, it's a mistake. Look, we'll give you a second chance, but when he's missed another open goal and another one, first time's a mistake, second time that's unlucky, but when it gets to 6, 7, 8, 9 times now, it's like gets to a point where it's actually disgraceful, and he should just go. In my opinion, Anyway, so just joined us now on here. We'll just bring you in, Colin. Is it Paul's brother? What did you think of the Gillingham game? What's your reaction?
This is why it took so long to come on, because I was raging. I was absolutely raging.
That was very good.
There's a few dents in my bedroom wall, I'm telling you.
I'm not joking. I'm fed up of coming on and for people that know us, I'm normally really positive where Sunderland's concerned, and I'll always say the best in them. But it just seems as though I'm coming on lately and being really negative. For the first 6 minutes, spot on, got the goal. But that's when we should kick on and really go for the jugular, as they say, and go for them and put them under pressure and get the second, third goal. Not sit back, let them control the game, bully us off the pitch. There was 2 styles of football on the pitch today. There was a team that could play football, which was us, and there was a team that just wanted to bruise the way and lump it forward, and we couldn't cope with them.
Yeah.
And basically they took control of the game. We allowed them to do it. They got the goal. You could see it was coming all day long. And I don't understand this thing about we'll make substitutions in the second half or we'll change things in the second half. If it's not going right and you can say it for 15, 20 minutes of the first half, change it then. It's still the manager's job to do that, because I thought Diamond was ineffective. I thought O'Brien put himself about, but I think as a striker, and he had a couple of chances, he was woeful. And McFadden, I think he is a pathetic left back. He has just got, he can't keep the ball. He's not strong enough at left back. He's just useless, basically. Scowen did okay in patches. And I just thought, as the second half, you know, they obviously got wrong and they were better in the second half. But still, they deserved that point. They had good chances. They hit the bar a couple of times. And I'm sick of saying these draws are going to cost us. Our home form is going to cost us, because it is going to cost us. And I know I was listening to you before talking about these new signings and what you think of them. We've got to pray that they come in and hit the ground running, because I haven't been impressed with Winchester with what I've seen of them so far. So, yeah, like how Paul said, I'm going to give them all a chance, because I don't really know what they were like before they were at Sunderland. I'll do the same thing. I'll give them all a chance. But there's a lot of work to do to get these anywhere near keeping us in the playoffs, never mind the top two.
Yeah, can I I'm interested to know what our Colin thinks. We had a bit of a slightly heated discussion about performance over results earlier on. A lot of fans are saying they don't care about the performance. They don't care if it's enjoyable. As long as they get the result, that's the only thing that matters. Would you agree with that statement?
No, not really, to be fair, because I think it's an entertainment sport, isn't it? That's why we all watch it. So I do think don't get us wrong, we all want to win, and if we won 2-1 today and it was a poor performance, we'd take it. But I don't think any of us would have been happy about it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We want to come off. We want to come onto this show or talk to our mates or when we go to work and say, oh, that was mint, them goals and that attacking football, and we played really well, and you know, something for us to build on and to cling on to. But nothing like that is happening at the minute. So yeah, you do need the performance. It's important to have the performance. It's not good enough for a club of Sunderland to be playing that standard of football in this league, and that's not being arrogant. We shouldn't be playing turgid football in this league. Teams in the first couple of seasons have, especially the first season under Ross, we were playing teams and being, if you remember, being like sometimes 2-3-0 up within the first half an hour. Came to the stadium, like we had to go at them. They didn't know what to do. They're not scared of us anymore. They're not scared to come to the stadium light and have a go. We're Sunderland, but like, hard on a minute, we can beat these.
Yeah.
You know? So I just think, yes, the performance has got to be there. We have got to be patient with the new manager, and we have got to be patient with hopefully the new ownership, because we've got nothing else to cling on to. But one final point on what you said about performance. I put a comment on something earlier on. I love life. I love my family. I love everything about it. I mean, obviously, we all hate COVID. The only thing that gets me wound up every week is Sunderland. Every week, I get wild and wound up. It's the only thing in my life that gets me wild, and I think, you know, when's it going to turn for us? We've been through enough of this crap, all of us, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
big style.
Yeah, I just want to say something earlier on when you said, you know, so I spoke about this before, like fine margins. It came down as well to like the Doncaster away game where we're winning, they equalise in like the last minute of the game, and I think it could be those 2 points that are the difference between going up and staying in League One.
Yeah.
You know, we might be 2 points out of the playoffs. We might be 2 points out the automatic places. And if you just think, if we just made that little decision, if we realised that a little bit earlier, it's just little fine margins, you know. But yeah, it is very frustrating.
How many times do we say if though?
Yeah,
the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, go on, Graham.
The other thing is that those 2 points might make the difference between automatic promotion or playoffs or not. How many times have we done that though? You could times your 2 points by about half a dozen games.
Oh, easy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That easily. That's 12 points.
Yeah.
You know, Colin, you're absolutely right, man. You know, life's great apart from that fucking virus and Sunderland Football Club. You know?
Yeah. And who's to say that it might not end up with another points per game finish yet?
Yeah.
Anything's possible. So yeah, we need to be
every out of it purely because of Accrington stand these games in hand.
Aye. I was
They're drawing at the moment 2 each.
2 each.
Yeah.
Well, I think they've got at least 3 games in hand on us. Maybe even
1
4.
against
So we've got about 10 minutes left before we head off. I just come around to you all really with all of you who are still here with us after we had a few people jump on and jump off. It's been great so far. I just want to ask a question. I'll come to Acacia first. With what you've seen today and the season so far, where do you think we will finish?
I probably think 7th or 8th.
Okay. Paul?
It's not good enough today.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where Acacia's coming from there, definitely. Me overly optimistic brain is still saying that we can get in the playoffs, but if you'd asked us this straight after the game, I'd have said, well, we're finishing 20th. I was so angry. My mood's up and down all the time with Sunderland. So at the minute, I'm going to say we're going to finish 6th and then lose it in the playoff final. That's the way that's the
against Accrington Stanley.
Yeah.
A Cockney celebration, it'll be Charlton getting the winner again.
Yeah. Don't even talk about that. Can't even imagine that.
Yeah, so that's it for me. I'll be over the moon if we get to finish in the playoffs. But I think looking at recent performances, I would say we might finish 8th or 9th. But yeah, I'd love to get the playoffs.
Jacob?
See, if I say we'll finish outside, I'll get absolutely slaughtered for it on social media. So I'll go 6th. Yeah,
Let's just squeeze in. Graham?
I love your self-preservation there, Jacob. I really do. I think for me, there's just, if we were a bit more consistent, then there'd be a bit more belief. And we talked earlier about I'm going to use the phrase gritty wins over fantastic football. At the minute, we're not even guaranteeing the gritty wins. And as much as I want to be positive and as much as I want to say we'll make the playoffs, because I honestly don't believe we'll go up automatically. It'd be lovely if we made the playoffs. However, I'm going to say somewhere between 7th and 10th. And unless we have this run that we go on with a few games and actually get some points and some confidence, I can't see it being any better than that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Colin?
The optimistic side of us, if these players that we've getting in this window hit the ground running, then I can see us getting in the playoffs quite comfortably. I think if this Jones, who looks exciting, can give us some ammunition, and the lad who you're saying coming from Ross County can get a few goals, then I can see us comfortably making the playoffs, to be honest with you. I think, but if they continue in the current form, then I can say the same as the rest, basically 7th to 10th. I think it's going to be a real struggle to get to the playoffs. I think we're going to probably win the odd game, draw a few, and we'll always seem to be trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's fair enough. Dan?
I'm gonna go 5th. I think. I don't think we get automatics, but I'd be surprised if we didn't get playoffs. I've got my faith in Lee Johnson. I think he's a good manager. He knows what he's doing. He knows the score. He knows the players that aren't good enough, and he wants to get these players in. And I think he's identified, because I was watching the interview with the new signings. Actually, they were saying he was sold to come to Sunderland because of the phone call he had with Johnson and the long-term plan that he had, and he was convinced. Jones, he had 2 offers from Championship clubs, I think, but he said as soon as I called Johnson for an hour, I was convinced I wanted to come here because he said everything right, and I understand that. So yeah, I've got faith we'll get in the playoffs, but top 2 is probably not realistic.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, I think I said mine already, mate. I think we'll be.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah, we'll be. I know
Been a long
Acacia
day.
was.
You changed your mind.
We were just checking on you.
Yeah. Have you changed your mind?
We're gonna finish champions, bollocks. We'll finish champions.
We'll take that now.
But yeah,
go on.
I don't know whether Acacia was finished. She was still busy trying to talk when our internet went off by the looks. And were you seeing 7th? Is that right?
Yeah, I went 7th or 8th.
Yeah, fair enough. That's all right. Cool. That's it. Yeah, I think most of us are just hoping we can get in the playoffs. I don't think any of us are realistically expecting to finish an automatic promotion now.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the way I feel now. Listen, we could hammer MK Dons next week. I think. Well, promotion is still one. It's funny how you might win a game and your mood changes and you think, oh. And you start to get a little bit excited, and then we might get like thrashed off Fleetwood or something like that, and then all the hope just goes again.
Yeah.
So if we just stay positive, and it's hard to do that now, but I mean, if the team we just win a few games, and we're still very much in the race. Really, we've just got to stay consistent, and that's one thing we've never really done in the first season in League One. We had all those games in hand. We had a great opportunity to get automatic promotion, and we just didn't do that. We had about 3 games in hand. How, looking back now, if you looked at that table with all those games in hand and all those games left, you think easy promotion. Any other team, I bet you any other team would have got promoted, but because it was Sunderland, nah. Sorry,
If only it was points per game that season, we'd be all right. We'd have been up.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I can't see us. I can't. I think playoffs at maximum, automatic. I'm not too sure. I don't even think we're good enough for automatic promotion. Pretty much at the end of the season anyway. Even if we do go up, pretty much the whole squad's out of contract anyway, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing because I don't think the players are good enough anyway.
No.
But yeah, if anyone's got anything left to say, Paul, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to you and Dan for doing this stream. It's the first time we've done it on the channel, getting fans' reactions this week on a live stream. We've had fantastic response. Matthew and Dan have done an awesome job actually hosting the show. Everybody has come on as well. Have given spot on reactions, even though we don't always agree. It was really interesting. Comments,
especially at the start.
Fantastic. Yeah. We got a bit heated at one point as well, which is all fun and games. If you are still watching, there's a few people. There's still about 16 people in the minute. Please give it a thumbs up because that really helps us get the videos out there, get noticed. And if you're not yet subscribed, we're trying to get to 300. We're only a few away, and once we get to 300 subscribers, we're going to give away a free streaming pass for any game of your choice to one person. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. There's loads going on the channel in a minute. Matthews is Sunderland starting 11, which is getting some fantastic guests on. So yeah, go and check out all the videos, and I really appreciate everybody for coming on.
Yeah.
Actually, shall we just get what's the next game? Shall we get quick predictions for that before we go?
The next game is against MK Dons, but it's the Papa John's Trophy. But the next game in the league is MK Dons away as well. So I don't know. Should we just get predictions for both?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
All right, Jacob, start with you. Let me write these down.
Come back to me. I'm still deciding. Yeah.
Okay, Colin.
The Papa John's Trophy, I think we'll go down there, and I think we'll win on. Does it go to penalties? Doesn't it? Or it'll be a draw.
Yeah.
We'll win on. It'll be a draw, and we'll win on penalties.
Okay, and then when we go down there in the league,
if we were in the league down there, I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay, Cool.
I'm still trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, no, you can never predict you can never predict a loss. Come on. Acacia, MK Dons away Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday in the Papa Johns. What's your score predictions?
I'm going for a scrappy 1-0. 1-0.
1-0 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what about when we go down there on Saturday?
Probably 2-0.
2. All right, cool. All right, lovely. Dan, come to you.
2-2 in the Papa Johns, and we're going to lose on penalties. And on Saturday, I'm going to go 1-0 win.
Right. Paul?
Well, they've just played today, EFC Wimbledon away 1-2-0. So they're obviously playing with confidence and scoring goals at the minute. I can never ever predict a win or a draw. I've said that's going to be my catchphrase. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win in the cup. Even though I wouldn't be that bothered if we lost. The only reason I don't want to lose is I think it breeds negative, sort of like poor confidence, poor form. So yeah, we'll go with a 1-0 win, and I don't know, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win at their place as well.
Okay. Graham?
Just before I give you my prediction, I've been doing these videos for 6 months now since the start of this season. Not once have I seen Colin smile, and that's all he's done since he's been on here today. What a difference it makes, man! Let me tell you. So I think I'm mirroring Paul. I think we should. I don't believe that it's bad for us. I actually think it's good for us. For confidence. So I think we should play a full strength team, no ifs, no buts. Sunderland to win 1-0 in the Papa Johns, and then Sunderland to win 1-0 in the league next Saturday.
Brilliant. And on Tuesday, I'll say 2-1 to Sunderland, and then in the league, I'll say 1-0. I'll say 1-0 in the league. Jacob, are you ready for your prediction?
Yeah, I would say for the game on Tuesday night, 1s each, us to win on penalties, and Saturday in the league, a 2-1 win for us, but will come from a goal down to win.
Ooh, 2. All right.
The reverse of the previous fixture.
Reverse. Yeah. All right then. Brilliant. So we've got all those down. I've got them all written down there. So we'll see if any of you are correct. But yeah, really that does bring us to the end. It's now 5 o'clock. So I'm sure everyone's dinner's being cooked fairly soon, so everyone can enjoy their Chinese their Saturday evening meal. Well, thank you all for coming on. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed this actually. Talking about the game probably helps me cope with it a little bit better because my feeling after the final whistle was awful. But yeah, no, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you when we'll next see you in the. Are we going to do? We're going to do a live stream before the Tuesday game.
To be honest with you, if there's enough people who want us to do it, maybe we'll put it out on Twitter, see if they want us to do it. I'm not normally bothered about doing these cup reactions and things like that, but if there's enough people interested, we'll do one. If people's available to do it, that's perfectly fine. I think I'm off work, so I might be able to do it if people want to do it. And obviously you and Dan, if you're available, we could do it. So yeah, we'll leave it up to them. We'll let the people decide, eh?
All right then, brilliant. All right then, well, thank you everyone for coming on, and everyone who did come on and are no longer on here with us now. But yeah, no, we'll see you all. We'll see you all then. Thank you very much. See you later.
Take it easy.
Bye.